Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Connor, and I am coming back to BookTube again. Sorry that I've been gone for 2 months. I wasn't reading at all. Why? I didn't really want to. That's okay. I just didn't want to read, so I didn't read. Yep. Before I stopped reading, though, I read a bunch of books, and I was supposed to do my wrap-up for August, I think it was the last time I read enough books to really do a wrap-up, but then I didn't actually end up doing it. So in this video, I'm just going to quickly go through those books. I don't really have much to say because it was a long time ago, but I still remember kind of what I felt while reading them, so I'm just going to go through those and show you those. And then some of the books that I forgot to haul before I kind of stopped making videos for a little bit, and also ones that I picked up today that were pretty exciting, and yes, let's just do it. So the first book that I finished that I haven't actually talked about was The Lies of Locke. That book was so good. I now have the second book. It was so good. 5 out of 5 stars. It's about this group of characters that are living in this kind of Venice-esque place. I don't know, that's kind of the vibe that I got from the place that they're at, the setting. And he's just like a crazy master thief, and the relationship that he has with the other guys in his crew are just so funny, so just amazing, and just, it's just 5 out of 5 stars. Just that. Just go read it if you haven't read it, or if you're interested in it, I definitely suggest that you read it. I've heard that it has pirates in it. That's not true. There are no pirates in this book. So if you were reading it for that, sorry about that. There are no pirates in this volume. I don't know about the future books, but this one does not have that. The next book that I finished was the third book in the Books of Beginning series, trilogy by John Stevens, and that's The Black Reckoning. This book kind of became repetitive of the other two. Like, I didn't feel like too many new things happened, but I still really enjoyed it. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars just because it kind of seemed formulaic and nothing new was happening, so it was just okay for me. It was good, but yeah. The next book that I finished was The Book of Three by Lloyd Alexander. This is the first book in the Chronicles of Prydain series, and I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars as well. I thought it was cute, but I thought it was really heavy-handed with the life lessons. It's a middle grade book, so middle grade books usually have a lot of life lessons and teaches younger readers different morals and such, but this one was just really, really heavy with it, and I felt like it was just kind of roll your eyes when those things happened, so give it a 3. I may continue if I find that the next book's cheaper. I'm not really sure though, but I did enjoy it and I gave it 3 stars. The next book I did a review for, and that is The Six Gun Tarot by R.S. Belcher. And I think I gave this book a 3.5 stars out of 5 stars. I did really enjoy it, and now that I think about it more and more, I feel like it had a more lasting impact on me than when I first read it. I feel like it's kind of stayed with me a little bit, and so I still remember a lot of things that happen. It's about this town named Golgotha, and the people in this town, a lot of them have this background supernatural thing going on, but it's kind of one of those things where everyone has a problem, so it's not like, oh my gosh, this person is really in the shitter. It's everyone is having a lot of problems. So it's interesting, it's fun. I think I already own the second book. I might not, but I will probably be continuing regardless. The next book that I finished was The Lost Colony by Owen Colfer, and I think I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. It was so much fun. I really, really enjoy it. And I've heard some people got annoyed with Artemis Fowl at first because, you know, he's not a good character at the beginning of the series, but as the series goes on, he starts to grow and change and mature, and, you know, all those things that middle grade series characters go through. He starts to improve and all of those things. And I think this book did a really, really good job because you meet a different race of fairy tale creature. You meet demons, which is really cool. So you get to, like, get Owen Colfer's take on different demons and their culture. I thought it was really cool because he formed a culture for this new group, and it was separate from the other fairies that you've met so far. So I definitely really enjoyed it. I will be continuing. I have the next book. Moving on. Then I finished the Rhaeria Revelation series by Michael J. Sullivan, and I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. This is probably the best book that I read out of all the books that I'm going to be talking about in this video. I don't know, that Lies of Locke was really good too, but this book was the best series ending I have read in so long. It was just perfection. Like, I wrote a Goodreads review for this, so I might write that down below, link it down below, but it was just amazing, and I loved it so much, and I have the next 2 books, like, in the prequel trilogy, so I'll be reading those soon. I have a lot of books that I need to read, so expect me to be power reading in the next couple of months, and putting out a lot of content, but yeah, this book, guys, it was amazing. The next book I finished was The Shattered Lens by, Brandon Sanderson. By Brandon Sanderson, of course. Brandon Sanderson is my favorite author, and this book was just a part of that experience. This 4th book in the series wasn't as strong as the rest of the books. I felt not as connected with the characters, and I didn't think it was as funny or anything. And I actually started writing down all the authors' names that he talks about, because he uses authors' names as curses. So, like, I don't know, Gambling Gaimons or something like that. Like, he uses authors' last names for one of the characters when he's like, darn it. So I really thought that was funny, so I started writing down all those authors. So I think eventually in the future I'm going to try to read books by each of those authors, because I would just think that was fun. But this story in particular, still amazing. I don't know if I gave it a 5 stars or a 4.5 stars out of 5 stars, because it's still fantastic. I love it, but it wasn't as good as the first 3. But I'm very excited for when the 5th one is finally released, whenever that is going to happen. Also, all these books have been sitting right here for 2 months, waiting for me to film this video. So I felt like I should just film it, even though it's a little late, but I still remember everything that happens, which is pretty good. 2 months and however many books this is. The next book that I read was the 4th book in the Fablehaven series by Brandon Mull. This is The Secrets of the Dragon Sanctuary, and this is basically about these 2 kids whose parents own a magical menagerie, and then obviously there's evil people, and they have to save the world over and over again. And in this book it is no different, and they end up going to a dragon sanctuary, and you get to learn a bit about dragons in this world and the dragon culture and just kind of how the dragons think. And I just thought it was a lot of fun. I think I gave this book a 4 stars out of 5 stars. I feel like this series is a 4-star series for me, but still really enjoyable. I will be continuing. I think I bought the 5th book, so that will also be on my list of books to read. The next book that I read, I actually buddy read with James from Reading Musically, and that is The Knife of Never Letting Go. And I apologize for the lighting. I didn't realize how dark it was right now. But this book, I gave it a 3 stars out of 5 stars. I didn't really enjoy it that much. I found Todd to be really, really whiny, and I just didn't enjoy reading about him at all. And I thought his relationship with his dog was, like, really abusive. He abuses his dog a lot, and I just didn't really like that, because I have a dog, and I am really obsessed with my dog. Obviously, I have videos on this channel where I just hang out with my dog. So, yeah, I wasn't too keen on that. I don't think I'll be continuing with the series, because there are just so many other series that I would like to read. So, yeah, I think I gave this 2.5 stars or 3 stars. Kind of disappointing, but you're not going to like every book that you read. That's just a thing. And the next book that I read was American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I buddy read this book with a bunch of different people, and everyone had different opinions. I ended up really liking this book. Other people didn't. I think it is definitely not a book for everyone. Yeah, I think you just have to have a certain way of thinking about things to really appreciate it as well. I don't know. It's just, I really enjoyed it. So I think I ended up giving it 4.5 stars out of 5 stars. I really, really like Neil Gaiman's writing, and I don't think I've read a book by him that I haven't liked yet, so this one was no exception, and I recommend it if you like more crass books, more mature books. This is definitely adult, so if you are not about that, don't read that either. So I also read a couple of ebooks, and I have those on my phone, so I can't look at what they are right now, but I remember I read the first 2 books in this trilogy. I can't remember the name, and I can't remember the author, but I know the first book was Under the Empyrean Sky, and I actually really enjoyed both of those books. I know PT from PT Hilton read Under the Empyrean Sky, and I'm not sure if he's read the second book yet, but they're just really addicting. They're like really like fast reads for me. I read both of them in one day, and it's about it's like future America, and all the rich people have like moved up onto these floating mechanical island things like flotillas, and then all of the poor people still live on Earth, like on the ground. and they have this genetically modified corn that is carnivorous and like destroys the land, and there's no other crops pretty much, and it's just really a bad situation for the people that are living on the ground. And it's about a bunch of characters from this one town, and it follows their crazy adventures, and I just really enjoyed it. It's just a really solid book for me, and I think I gave both of them 4 stars. I had a couple of problems with them. I didn't really relate a lot to the main character. I didn't really feel for the characters very much. Like, if something bad happened to them, I was just like, okay, but it was just so addicting because I didn't know what was going to happen. It was very unpredictable. Yeah, 2 thumbs up for that series, and I'll leave a link to their Goodreads pages because I know I didn't give the titles of the authors, so I'll find them and put them down there in the description box. Okay, so I might as well make this video a pretty long video to come back, just, you know, if you wanted to see my face, Rachel. Now I'm going to tell you some of the books that I bought while I wasn't making videos and I wasn't really reading. I don't buy a lot of books when I'm not reading because it doesn't make any sense to. I also have a lot of books on my shelves that I still need to read, so I'm just going to quickly go through those and then maybe talk about my reading plans. This is just going to be everything. It's a wrap-up, book haul, and a TBR video. So let's just, you know, keep going. So the first book that I bought is The Wicked and the Divine. And I actually got this before my last video, but I forgot to haul it because it's on a different shelf because I keep all of my graphic novels on a different shelf, and I just, you know, I just forgot. I think this is about gods, and every so many years they are reincarnated, and they get to live for a certain amount of time, like, I don't know, maybe a year or something. And I've just heard it's really good, and I really like gods, so I've decided to give it a go, and I know there's the second one is out already, so hopefully I'll love it and continue with the series. I have like piles of books, and that's why you're seeing like shadows starting to grow. But the next books, okay, so I bought the first book in the fairy tale manga. I've never read manga before, and I decided to give this one a go because I actually really enjoy the TV show, the anime show, and I just think it's hilarious. I think fairy tale is like one of the most fun things that I've ever watched on TV. It's so just weird and funny. All the characters are just so weird, and it's really entertaining. And it's kind of, it sticks pretty close to the books, but they do change some stuff. So it was really interesting to see how they were originally written and then how they adapted them for the TV show. And if you watch the TV show, the sound effects in that show are like just so on point. So just love them a lot. And I gave this book, I already read it, I gave this book a 5 stars out of 5 stars. Then my brother went to Barnes & Noble because I was like, oh my gosh, I love fairy tale. And then he bought me the next 4 in the series. So I have book 2, and I've read this one. I gave this one 4 stars because I didn't think it was as good as the first one. And then I have book 3, book 4, and book 5. So I will be reading these sometime soon. I don't know if they have titles. No, they don't. It's just volume 4 or 5. Okay. Let's get it together, Connor. You are all over the freaking place today. So yeah, for first manga series, I really liked this one. It wasn't hard for me to get into at all. It was strange to read backwards because, you know, it goes back to front and like top right to bottom left. So it's just kind of an adjustment, but I really enjoy these books, so I think I'm going to continue on with the series. There's like a jillion volumes, so I'm pretty set on manga for a while because, you know, just gonna keep reading these. Sorry, this video is awful. The next book that I got is Shadows of Self by Brandon Sanderson. This book actually came out today. I'm filming this on the 6th. I probably won't put it up for a couple of days, but I'm currently reading it. I have about 100 pages left. Brandon Sanderson's just the best. So if you have not read a Brandon Sanderson book, I don't know what's wrong with you. Number 1. 2, you need to remedy the situation like ASAP. So yeah, so I'm really enjoying it so far. I just don't want to give anything away, so I can't really say anything, but Mistborn, you are the best. Okay. Next book that I got, I went to Barnes & Noble today, so I got Why Not Me by Mindy Kaling, and I got it for 40% off because I'm a member. So I read her other book, and I thought it was really funny and entertaining. I think I gave that 4 stars out of 5 stars, so I decided to give this book a go, just because she's hilarious. And when I read her books, I actually can picture exactly how she's saying it, so it's just one of those things that it doesn't really matter if you listen to it on audiobook or not. It probably is better in audiobook, but I prefer physical books, so I can have them on my shelf, and they can look pretty. So, yes. I'm excited to read this one. It's not going to be long. It'll definitely be a one-day read. It's like 200 pages. So yeah, that's a piece of cake. And the last book that I got was The Aeronauts Windlass by Jim Butcher. This is the first book in a new series by him. I was so intimidated. I didn't want to start the Dresden Files because it's just so many books. So I feel like getting into this series at the base level, like while it's coming out, will be a good thing. And it's actually pretty chunky, so I think I'm going to be buddy reading this with my buddy reading group. So should be good. It's a science fiction book about, you know, spaceships and stuff, so should be awesome. So that TBR that I last made, I read 0 books off that TBR. I don't think I'm going to. I think that was one of the problems, was I was trying to force myself to read all these books that I thought I should read. I'm going to finish Dead House Gates. I'm very close to finishing that one. But other than that, I think I'm gonna DNF Storm of Swords. It's just not one of those things that I want to do right now, and I don't want to force myself to read it because I really want to like it. So that one's going to go on the back burner. The third book, The Return of the Kings, is also going to go on the back burner. I didn't get very far into that one. And all of these books that are on this on this stack, I probably won't read those for a while. Yeah, I'm just going to read what I want to read. I want to read the second book in the second trilogy of the Mistborn series. Obviously, I'm currently reading that one. And then I don't know, I just want to play it by ear. I want to read the new Rick Riordan book, which I pre-ordered and still hasn't gotten here, so that's very disappointing. Amazon, looking at you. And I'm just going to kind of float around and read whatever I want to read. I'm not going to give like a strict TBR. I think I'm going to stick to middle grade books and quicker books so I can feel like I'm making a lot of progress. And power reading, I'm just going to power read, so it's going to be awesome. This video is already really long, so I'm going to stop it here. And I'll be making more videos soon as I'm finishing books. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I feel like I might start reviewing multiple books in one video. Like the next time I finish 3 books, I'll review those 3 books or something like that. I'm not really sure. I'm just gonna, you know, wing it. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.